Nearly 30 people broke into this store, and I hope they smiled because check it out. It is absolutely impossible to miss the security camera that is positioned right at the entrance. And now we have the inside pictures of what it looks like. Already just 1 year in, and there's some big changes in the works for Ballpark Village. And get this, they involve some hard hats instead of winter hats, and they're happening just behind me. They are building a new stage here, something that they are hoping will bring in 7 million people to this complex in year 2. Cameras, and more cameras are coming right here to downtown St. Louis. So what are they going to do? What are they going to cost? And more importantly, why should you care? I have those details coming up next. This 40-mile rampage stretched 3 different counties. Police are saying he shot at about 6 cars. In fact, they're saying there was some type of shootout that happened on the interstate right here. Now, that estimate is for both direct jobs and indirect jobs in this area. A direct job would be obviously the jockeys, the people who work so hard to make this track ready to go today. Also, the people who work in the restaurants here. But the indirect jobs could be anyone who works at other restaurants, maybe nearby hotels, and then those people who also work at area farms to provide the feed for the horses. 1,600 jobs would be a major loss in this area. So why has this not been discussed in Springfield yet this year? I'll explain that coming up in an hour. The good news is that we have not been tracking as much crime here in Jennings over the last 4 years. And a lieutenant here tells me that's really because of 2 things. First off, a county police overhaul, and then those county officers working to rebuild trust here in this community. I have a story you will only see right here on News 4 coming up right around 6:45. And we do understand that that 9-year-old was shot in the hand, specifically in the fingers. As for the 7 and the 2-year-old, they are both okay. Neither of them were shot. But if this specific story doesn't make you frustrated, angry, and just sick, this statistic might. I have been going through our KMOV notes this morning, and I have found out that now 9 children in the city of St. Louis have either been shot or grazed by a bullet since the start of this year. And in this specific case, no one is in custody.
She just talked with a witness who saw some of this activity last night. Laura?
I sure did, Robin. I just walked across Del Mar here into the Peacock Diner to see if anyone was there when all this started happening last night. And in fact, I spoke with someone working at that diner. He was here all day yesterday. He tells me the fighting started as early as 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And as day gave way tonight, things got a lot worse.
Our Laura Hettiger was there when they installed the final beam at BPV back in August of 2013. She joins us live from Cardinal Nation with the Bommarito Street Fleet. And Laura, you talked to one of the heads of that complex, right?
I sure did, Andre, and man, I miss when they were putting that final beam in, because that day they made us wear hard hats instead of winter hats, and we were sweating because it was so hot instead of shivering because it is snowing right now. Oh well, flash forward to today, and yes, we are talking about the 1-year anniversary, and get this, the COO actually tells me that in the first year, 5 million people came to Ballpark Village. I asked him how many they are expecting for the second year. He tells me 7 million visitors. And to put that into some perspective for you, that is double the amount of people who watched a game over at Busch last season.
And a little bit about the park over the highway, and that's probably what I'm the most excited about to see.
Have you run around the park at all?
I have, and I'm really seriously.
Happy April Fool! What? Gosh! Many of them showed the looters' faces. So exactly where we are here at the City Trends is actually in a shopping center. So as we walk you around a little bit, you see an Office Depot, and then in the corner there is a Ross store. Just beyond that is West Florissant Avenue. Even though we are in Florissant, West Florissant, as many of you remember, is where so much of the destruction, the damage, the looting, and the protests have happened over the last few months. And for years, the concern was, will this place ever exist? I did some digging on the background of Ballpark Village today. I found out that the planning for this actually started in 1999. So now 16 years, 4 National League pennants, and 2 World Series Series championships later, here we are getting ready to start year 2. But you also have to ask, with this multi-million-dollar complex, has that had any impact on the other locally owned bars and restaurants in this area? That is exactly something that I am going to be looking into over the next few weeks. So you can look for a report right here on News 4 this morning about that.
And to cut down on crime, of course, our Laura Hettiger was the only reporter to find this out back in February. She's live downtown with the Bommarito Street Fleet. And now, Laura, the plan is coming to fruition.
It sure is, Andre. Downtown officials tell me that 5 cameras will be up and running here in downtown St. Louis by the end of the month. Very good news for all the crowds that we can expect with the start of baseball season. Now, the intersection that we are at is Walnut and Memorial, and if you look up a little bit, there's already a security camera up there. This is not one of the new ones. However, if it were, then that would be able to record and flag any car that might be connected to a crime. All these cameras will be in the downtown and downtown West neighborhoods. You're seeing video from downtown St. Louis right now. Those with Downtown STL Inc. explained how they will work. So as soon as a stolen car or a car licensed to someone wanted for a crime is picked up on one of these cameras, that information will be sent to officers on patrol. That way, police in the area can hopefully find the car, then potentially apprehend the driver. The price tag for these first 5 cameras is nearly $70,000. They will be paid for by the Downtown St. Louis Community Improvement District, not money out of the general policing fund. Now, there should be about 30 cameras in downtown and the downtown west neighborhoods coming up in the next 2 years. Very good news, because I have been going through the crime statistics for downtown and downtown west just in the first 2 months this year, and the crime in these 2 neighborhoods is up nearly 15%.
We want the citizens to get involved with the police department. It's our community, and we want to work together to make it as safe as possible.
Back in March 2011, News 4 told you how the Jennings Police Department would be taken over by the St. Louis County Police Department.
Now flash forward to today, and county officers who patrolled Jennings say they've made great strides in cracking down on crime over the last 4 years. Our Laura Hettiger joining us live from Jennings this morning with the Bommarito Street Fleet. And Laura, you have an update our viewers will only see on News 4.
I sure do, Emily, and we know about the great strides police have made here because I've actually been working on this story for about a week now, and a commander here tells me that since the time county police took over until now, Part 1 crimes, we're talking about the worst crimes, the murders, the arsons, the stolen cars, all of those crimes have gone down 33%, meaning that type of crime has been cut by a third. And one of the ways that police have been so successful here is because of hotspot policing. The video you are seeing here is from a successful hotspot in February. Police spent ample time in the southeastern part of town hoping to crack down on burglaries. In fact, they made 4 arrests in just 2 days. And the commander here says that is a combination of law enforcement strategies and community policing strategies.
When the call came out for the burglary in progress.
And after the success here, it is worth asking when some of the other 90 municipalities here in St. Louis County do the exact same thing that Jennings did, contract with county police. It's also a question that has been asked dozens of times since the recent unrest in neighboring Ferguson. If we do get any updates on that topic, we will let you know. Reporting live in Jennings, Laura Hettiger, News 4.
The issue has nothing to do with the actual track.
No, it doesn't, Emily. Everything on the ground was fine. The track was ready for those horses. Instead, the issue has to do with something up above. I'm talking about the roof. Now, the video you are about to see is what it should have looked like Tuesday afternoon at Fairmont Park. Instead, though, I am told by track officials that some union workers affiliated with Fairmont were upset a roofing company out of Kansas had been hired to do some work. Illinois area roofers started an informational picket outside. Other union workers did not want to cross that line, so it was not exactly a day at the races. All of them were canceled, but the only statement given to me by track officials is that Tuesday's races will be rescheduled and they are working to resolve the situation. News 4 has confirmed that races will resume on Saturday afternoon. Now, this is a very frustrating issue for some avid racing fans and also very frustrating for the people who are doing whatever they can to keep that struggling park open. I did have a chance to speak with the area representative from Collinsville yesterday, and he tells me he has actually made some headway in Springfield to pump some oxygen into the track. I'll have more on that coming up in an hour. We'll send it back to you guys.
Our Laura Hettiger pieced all of these together for us. She is live in North St. Louis County this morning. And Laura, You actually talked to police about this.
I did, Emily. I talked to them yesterday because at that point I'd realized that there had been 3 homicides in less than a week. So I called county police, talked to a sergeant, asked if it seemed like any of these might be connected. He said no. And then I got to work this morning and realized there had been 2 more in the last 15 hours. We have made a map for you to show you each location. Let me walk you through it. 4 of them were in unincorporated North St. Louis County. A man was shot outside the Qtopia bar last Tuesday. That is near Ferguson. Another man was shot and killed on Spring Garden Drive on Sunday. That is relatively close to Riverview. Another man was killed inside his home on Lord Drive, close to Moline Acres on Tuesday. And then Ferguson police found a man dead inside his home yesterday afternoon. And right now, county homicide detectives are investigating this homicide on Sea Lane Drive. That's relatively close to Blackjack. Police say they got a call around 1:15 this morning, and when they got there, they found that a man was dead in the street. I did just talk to an officer about that homicide investigation. He says as of now, no one is in custody, but you can depend on News 4 to continue to follow this uptick in violent crime here in this area. When we do get updates, we will let you know. Reporting live in North St. Louis County, Laura Hettiger, News 4. And if there are 2 things that just should not go together, it is snow and baseball. Well, we are getting one and discussing the other here on News 4 this morning. I'll break down the details coming up in 10 minutes.